Floating or sinking liquids. Many liquids mix easily with water, but some float on top of it. Others sink below it. That's because each liquid is different in many ways. One difference is that each liquid has its own density. The more dense or heavy a liquid is, the more easily things will float on it. To find out about the density of liquids, you can make a tool called a hydrometer. Then use it to perform a fun experiment. Make 3 hydrometers. You will need 1 plastic drinking straw with stripes and scissors, 2 1 small lump of clay divided into 3 equal pieces, 3 clear glasses or plastic cups of the same size, 4 1/2 cup of tap water, 5 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. 1. Cut the drinking straw into 3 equal pieces. 2. Form 3 small clay balls. Make them larger than the hole in the straw. Be sure the balls are equal in size. 3. Insert one end of each straw into the ball of clay. Be sure to center the straws and push them into the clay to the same depth. The 3 hydrometers should look the same. Testing for density. 1. Label each cup. Write water, oil, or syrup on the container. Fill each container with 1 liquid. Be sure the containers have equal amounts of water, oil, and syrup. 3. Carefully place a hydrometer into each liquid so it stands as straight up and down as possible. Also, make sure no liquid gets into the straw. Observe what happens to each hydrometer. Compare the different levels at which the hydrometers float. You will see the hydrometer in the oil sinks the lowest. The hydrometer in the syrup floats the highest. How density works. Your hydrometers float at different levels because the water, oil, and syrup have different densities. The density of each liquid is determined by 1. The size and weight of its particles, and 2. How closely its particles are packed together. The heavier and more closely packed particles are, the more dense the liquid. When a hydrometer is placed in a dense liquid, the packed heavy particles will push harder on the hydrometer. As a result, the hydrometer floats higher than it would in a less dense liquid. Weight plays a key part in density. For example, imagine 1 container filled with foam balls and 1 filled with metal balls of the same size. Both containers are packed with the same number of size of particles, but the one with metal balls would be much heavier or more dense. Lift each container to see which one is heaviest. It will also have the densest materials. Number 6. What is the most likely reason the author included illustrations throughout the text? A. To explain the difference in density between water, oil, and syrup. B. To help the reader correctly follow the instructions. C. To show the reader what each cup should look like. D. To provide additional information about what is being described in the text. Number 7. Part A. How do the clay balls keep liquid from getting into the straw during step 6? A. They cause the straw to sink. B. They help the straw stand up straight. C. They cover the hole at the bottom of the straw. D. They made the liquid denser. Part B. What evidence from the text best supports the answer to Part A? A. Form 3 clay balls. B. Make them larger than the hole in the straw. C. Be sure the balls are equal in size. D. Be sure to center the straws and push them into the clay to the same depth. Number 8. What is something you do not need to make hydrometers? A. 1 plastic drinking straw with stripes, scissors. B. 1 loaf of bread. C. 3 clear glasses or plastic cups of the same size. D. 1/2 cup tap water. Number 9. Which sentence best describes the main idea of this passage? A. Hydrometers are useful tools for measuring density of liquids. B. Density is how thick a liquid is. C. Making a hydrometer can help you understand the density of different liquids. D. Syrup is the most dense liquid. Number 10. What detail from the text best supports your answer in question 9? A. One difference is that each liquid has its own density. B. To find out what the density of liquids, you can you can make a tool called a hydrometer. C. Your hydrometers float at different levels because the water, oil, and syrup have different densities. D. When a hydrometer is placed in a dense liquid, the packed heavy particles will push harder on the hydrometer.